This is episode 3 from season 1. In this episode, the original host, Lord Sabbath, interviewed me. So without any more waiting, here is season 1, episode 3. And remember, may the dark side flow through you always.
This is the DarkSide Chats International, powered by the Dark Side.
My guest this week is my old mentor and master, Darth Perseus, and I have a list of questions for him this week.
Greetings, Darth Sabbath, my apprentice.
Number 1 is, you have written 6 new exciting Star Wars books. How did you decide to turn them into movies?
Well, I decided to turn the books into 6-foot movies after you sent me a message about turning them into films. I didn't agree with you at first, did I? As I didn't think it was a good idea. But after a few days of thinking about the idea, I changed my mind, and so I told you via message on Bebo that we can make the books into 6 movies, with the first one being called Rise of the Sith.
Number 2, how many years did it take you to write all 6 of your books?
Well, I started working on my book back in 2000, but it wasn't until 2003 when Knights of the Old Republic came out on the original Xbox that I had a timeline for the books to be set in. So ever since then, the book's been really and truly on the go, and I completed them about 2006, 2007.
Number 3 is, your characters on your books. Where did you come up with the ideas for them, and how many characters will there be in these movies?
Well, Darth Sabbath, that is a good question, because most of my characters for the book came to me when I was a child. Like, for instance, when I was younger, I used to call myself Asmodeus, and the name Perseus comes from the Greek mythology, and as we all know, all Sith Lords class themselves as gods, so I just thought that name would make a classy name for the main Sith Lord. As you already know, I came up with the name Sabbath. How did you come up with that name?
Well, I came up with the name Darth Sabbath because of the original Black Sabbath band, and because of its religious beliefs and everything, like how it could be emphasized as or as bad. So either way, I thought, why not? And Darth Sabbath was born, and I used the religious part to actually strike fear into the hearts of my enemies, namely the Jedi.
That is very interesting, Lord Sabbath. I'm glad that you finally explained that one to me, 'cause I always wanted to know that.
I couldn't use all the characters from the book in the movie due to the effects, as one of the characters is from the same species as Master Yoda, whose name is Goosen, so I had to take him out of the movie due to special effects mainly, and lack of funds for that type of effects.
Number 4. intend on making the films? How long will they each play, like time limit, like an hour and a half, or what?
Well, each film will be 60 minutes long. Each film will be released a year after the last. The first one we was set to start filming in August 2010 this year, but due to the lack of funds, I've had to put the filming into early 2011 now. So hopefully by February, March 2011 we should start filming on Rise of the Sith, and then we'll see how it goes from there. But as I said, each film we're looking at each film to be on for 60 minutes each, and they will tell the story of the Sith Wars, and it will be 50 years before the birth of Revan.
Number 5. How long have you actually been into Star Wars in general?
Well, Darth Sabbath, I've been into Star Wars since 1985, when Return of the Jedi was first released. Ever since I first see R2-D2 flick Luke Skywalker's lightsaber out of himself in the scene in the Dune Sea, that part of the film just drew me closer to the TV, and ever since then I've been a Star Wars fan. And as you know, now a lot of my friends say I take it a bit too far, but it's just one of them things. Some people just don't understand that Star Wars is a big influence on my life.
Question 6. If you were in any of the original 6 Star Wars movies, 1 to 6, who would you have liked to have played?
That is a very hard question to answer, because I like all the characters, but I suppose if I could play any of the characters, it would have to be Palpatine, I think, as he is a very sly character, and I like the way his story slowly unfolds throughout all the films. I just wish he could have played a part in Episode 4, A New Hope, even if it was just him talking to Lord Vader or something. I just think that he should have had a small part in that film, because he's one of the main characters. If it wasn't for him, there would be no Galactic Empire for Luke to fight against.
Question 7. Force powers. It seems that a lot of people favour Force lightning just because it's one of the most powerful powers. But what Force powers have you created in the new 6 Star Wars book?
Well, Lord Sabbath, I'm a big fan of Force lightning, as it is the ultimate dark side power, along with Force choke. But for my book, I wanted to show just how powerful the Sith could take Force lightning, so I created a Force power called Black Force Lightning, which is made with pure dark side energy, which turns the colour black and can kill just about anyone or anything it comes in contact with.
And my last question tonight. What made you come up with the name you have chosen for your movies?
Oh God, the name for the first chapter, or episode you may say, of the books has changed 5 times since the original title. It started off as Rise of the Dark Empire, then it was Return of the Dark Class, which, if I can remember, you came up with that name. But after a lot of thinking and rewriting, I decided that the name Rise of the Sith was the name that sounded most like what the book was about.
I would like to thank this week's guest, my old and first master, Darth Perseus.
Thank you for having me on your show, Lord Sabbath. It has been a pleasure talking to you once again, and thank you.
And until next week, remember, may the dark side of the Force always flow through you.
Well, that was the recorded interview between Darth Sabbath and myself. Tonight, I wanted to give the interviews something to do, so I'm going to ask you a question to answer. This is about episode 1 of DarkSide Island. The question to answer is, during the interview with Lord Bruticus, what was the self-made power he created himself? Well, that is all we have time for today. So, until next time, may the dark side flow through you always.
Give yourself to the dark side.